Good afternoon. This is Cameron Smith with the final exam questions. For this exam, I'm going to be focusing on the leadership side of the analytics that we face in day-to-day companies and answer each of the questions in a practical way, I hope. Um, so number one, why analytics faced resistance using the Moneyball example. Um, In Moneyball, the scouts resisted analytics because it challenged their experience. That same thing happens in regular companies, day-to-day organizations. Guys that have been being paid for years and years to be um, to give their opinions based on their field because they're respected and they have a good history of it. They feel disrespected when these analytic teams come in and kind of challenge. They feel that it's challenging their experience. Uh, they feel that it threatens their judgment and changes who has influence within the company. A manager can ease this transition by framing analytics more of as a support than a replacement. Um, Starting with like small little wins, just helping them like integrate with the technology. It doesn't have to be all at once. Um, a marketing team, for example, might feel threatened when like a data team suggests targeting a different audience for whatever they're marketing. Um, I think a good manager can show how data helps more refine the decisions and not replace their creativity, if that makes sense. So number two, descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive, sorry, analytics. Um, Here's the simple breakdown of the three types of analytics. Descriptive shows what happened. It's reports, it's KPIs, it's low risk, and the manager kind of has the decision from there on based on those statistics. Predictive shows what might happen, kind of in the name, right? It forecasts and trends. It kind of has some risk with it because if you're making your decisions based on that, it's kind of basing it off of uncertain outcomes, I would say. And then for the third one, it'd be prescriptive. It kind of recommends actions like a doctor would prescribe you medicine. This is kind of prescribing you a specific, here's what you need to do. That's the highest risk out of the three because the model really influences your decisions, and you really need to kind of buy into that if that's what you're going to go with. You know, One situation where advanced analytics really wouldn't help is like a leadership or culture issue. Um, that can't really be solved with a model. That kind of is the side of it that requires, leadership, management, conversations, human judgment, things like that. So getting into the next 5 years of analytics in sports, I think analytics will grow in real time performance tracking, injury predictions. You see that, especially I've seen it a lot being a football player. The last 2 years, you see a ton more technology with like the heart rate monitors at practice, the concussion pads and the helmets to predict if you got a concussion. Um, Things like that. Also things with like manual film breakdown of like practice and games. You're just not going to see that much anymore. You see apps like Huddle that will basically do it all for you. And so yeah, as that automates a lot of those things, managers still need the skills of interpreting those numbers and those insights and communicating them clearly amongst coaches, staff, whoever. And leading these teams through the new technology is going to be these managers because I guarantee you these coaches, they want it, but they don't understand it. So you need somebody. Um, Overall, analytics doesn't replace managers. I think it really strengthens the ones that can really understand these insights and know how to communicate them clearly amongst the people they're working with, and really not take offense to having these types of analytics become a part of your company. And then also just the people that are going to be able to guide companies through this new technology, through this new world, which is very new. You're going to have a lot of success, and you really need those people as your managers. Thank you very much.